Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hawks Latest, your number one source for news, updates, rumors, opinions, and you guessed it, the latest and the greatest regarding the Atlanta Hawks. I'm your host, Zach Langley, aka Langley ATL, and today's episode is a packed one. So the Summer Hawks are undefeated, and they play today against the Memphis Grizzlies, the 1-2 Memphis Grizzlies. So tonight, they've really got a shot to punch their ticket to the Summer League playoffs. Definitely a big deal. Plus, we're going to be breaking down Jacob Toppin's injury status, the latest on potential Trae Young extension talks. There's been some conflicting reports with that, and we're going to break it all down here. And also a veteran big who could be joining the Hawks rotation soon as, free agency kind of, comes to a close. I mean, it's still obviously open all offseason, but things really start to die down as we really get out of Summer League. So without further ado, let's get right into it and talk about how the Atlanta Hawks are riding high against, their Summer League competition. They're now 3-0 heading into tonight's pivotal Summer League matchup against the 1-2 Memphis Grizzlies. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this game has major implications for these young players. If the Hawks win, they'll pretty much lock in a spot in the Summer League semifinals. That's right, only 4 teams qualify, and the Hawks are in prime position to be one of them. The Hawks have really found great rhythm in Las Vegas, led by steady contributions from the rookies, but also some of these guys that are coming back for their second, third years in the Summer League. They've been real contributors. So starting from the top, Asa Newell, the front court with him and Toppin, as well as some of these guys that like Jack McVay or Jake Stevens, some of these under the radar guys, but also the guard play, Buffkin, Jurisic. We haven't seen some of the key contributors we thought would contribute in the Summer League yet. The guys like Lamont Butler, and we saw Eli Njai for one game, and he looked really good. He's a front court player. So this team is good, and they're looking to build on momentum and become 4-0. The status of key players such as Buffkin, Nikola Jurisic, and Asa Newell is a bit unclear. These guys are healthy, but there's always the possibility the coaching staff and maybe they get the boss call from Quinn Snyder and choose to rest them in preparation for next season. I mean, these guys are guys that have been injury prone, like Buffkin and Jurisic, so definitely don't want to push them too hard, but we do want to see them play quality minutes, and a high stakes Summer League game could just be that, where we could really see what Kobe Buffkin's made of going into next season, where he is the primary backup point guard. Atlanta's opponent isn't short on talent either, and obviously we still don't know who they're going to play, with them being pretty much out of things in the Summer League. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that they do decide to rest some of their guys, but they bring a tough squad if they really try to run it with their main guys. They've got Jalen Wells, who was a Rookie of the Year candidate last season before getting injured. They got a versatile wing in Gigi Jackson, who is probably too good for Summer League, and Cam Spencer, who has also been playing really well. He played with the ball club last season in the real Memphis Grizzlies rotation. He's going to be probably suiting up, and he's been a real contributor for them so far. Unfortunately for the Grizzlies, Cedric Coward, their first-round pick, is going to be out with an injury. He was one of my top guys in the draft who I really wanted Atlanta to select. Now I'm loving Asa Newell, and I did like him at the time we selected him, but Coward will not be suiting up just because he was injured at Washington State, and he still hasn't fully recovered from that, and they're being careful with him. Several others, including Eli Njai, Lamont Butler, and standout forward Jacob Toppin, could be game time decisions. I don't necessarily know who they're going to play at the time I'm recording this video, but it's going to be something to keep an eye on at least. This will be a real test of depth and intensity for this young Atlanta team, even with some players possibly sidelined. The Hawks have real momentum, the chemistry, and the defense to make it 4-0 and punch their ticket to the Summer League semifinals. So speaking of Jacob Toppin, his status is one of the biggest question marks heading into tonight. The younger brother of Pacers forward Obi Toppin, Jacob has been a real reliable option for the Hawks this summer. Through 3 games, the 6'8" product is averaging 15.3 points, 7.3 rebounds per game, shooting a very efficient 57% from the field and 40% from 3. Those numbers are really impressive on their own, but it's not contributing. It's not considering other factors like the hustle that he plays with, the maturity, the energy on both ends of the floor that really made him stand out. So Toppin actually left the Hawks' most recent win over the Rockets early due to what was appeared to be a minor hip injury. He only logged about half of his usual minutes. He didn't really play too much, but he still put up an impressive stat line. He still had 12, 4, and 2 on great efficiency. So he was about to have another one of those dominant games where he drops over 20 and maybe has a double-double. We've already seen a double-double from him in Summer League, and we were likely going to get another one. He's been a real great two-way contributor, and I am excited for his future moving forward as a two-way player for Atlanta. There hasn't been any type of official update from the team, regarding Toppin's status for today's game, but all signs point to this being more precautionary than serious. I don't think it's a serious injury, but I think he wanted to give it a go last game once he was warming up after suffering the injury, but that just didn't happen. They didn't want to risk anything. Personally, though, I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks chose to rest Toppin tonight. They may be prioritizing his long-term development over a Summer League win, keeping him fresh in case of any type of injury that may happen in the season for the Atlanta Hawks, or maybe even in training camp. God forbid. That said, though, if he does suit up, expect him to once again be a major lift on both ends of the floor, and as a transition finisher especially. He's quickly becoming a fan favorite in Atlanta, to say the least. So now let's shift gears to something that could really shape the entire direction of the franchise, not just this summer, but moving forward. Trae Young's contract situation. So we've heard definitely some conflicting reports on Trae's extension. The All-Star point guard is eligible for a massive 4-year, $229 million contract extension this offseason. There's been some rumors that he might take a pay cut. I don't necessarily believe he will, but here's the twist. According to ESPN's Mark J. Spears, who definitely has some ties with the Hawks, there haven't been any substantive extension talks between Young and the Hawks front office. Now, this comes after reports said that there were, and they were close on a deal. So there are conflicting reports right now. And right now, I will say it's hard to pin down exactly what's happening behind closed doors. Not a lot of people know. What we do know is that Trae remains under contract for at least next season, and then he has an option that he can either opt out of or opt into. It's a player option in 2026-27 worth nearly $50 million. Last season, Trae led the NBA in total assists and assists per game while averaging over 24 points a night. He's the face of the franchise and has been since the day he arrived. So while no extension appears imminent, news definitely doesn't feel like it'll be coming in the next 24 hours. The Hawks' moves this summer, trading for Porzingis and signing Luke Kennard and adding Nickeil Alexander-Walker, signal that they are trying to build around Young, and Young was active in the recruitment process for these guys. So I definitely think he wants to resign. It's just maybe a numbers game. Still until pen meets paper, the uncertainty will remain. This will be a major storyline heading into training camp, though, and I think eventually it will get done. But right now, with the conflicting reports, no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes, and we're going to be hearing different stuff until something actually happens and we get a definitive answer. So finally, let's close with a potential addition to the front court. Now, in the recent days, we've been talking a lot about Al Horford as a potential addition, bringing the former Hawk back. Whether that happens or not, the Hawks still have options. I know they are looking to bring in another big, just due to the, both of our starting caliber centers being injury prone. If one of them were to go down, the Hawks would need another option outside of the forwards that could potentially stretch to the 5. The Hawks are definitely still in the market for another big man with 2 open roster spots, and one name that has been mentioned is Thomas Bryant. The 8-year veteran split time last season between Miami and Indiana, where he averaged just under 7 points and 4 rebounds per game off the bench. He was a key contributor to the Indiana Pacers in their playoff run. He's really developed an outside shot. I'm going to get to that more in a minute, but this is someone who definitely plays good ball. He just is a little controversial because he's more of a one-way guy. He's not the greatest defender, but his offensive contributions are pretty good, and as a third big, he really would make sense. Bryant has evolved his game offensively. Nearly 50% of his field goal attempts last season went from beyond the arc, so showing his willingness to stretch the floor, and that has been something that has seriously improved over the course of his career. That said, his defense does leave something to be desired. Despite posting solid block rates, lineups with Bryant typically struggle to protect the rim. Definitely not something you really want to see out of a big man. In fact, he's actually graded as a below-average defender in EPM over the last few seasons. So, as a third big, though, who can shoot and finish and provide energy and spot minutes and, be a good locker room guy, definitely someone the Hawks should take a look at. I mean, especially if, they want to give either a Kongu or Porzingis some, breathing room, or one of them goes down with an injury. The Hawks need a guy who has played in these high-stakes moments, and Bryant has. He makes sense. He's also played in that fast-paced Indiana system last year, which obviously bodes well for a Hawks team that likes to run when Trae Trae and company are pushing the tempo. So there you have it. Tonight's game against the Grizzlies could be a crucial step toward a Summer League title. Maybe these guys will get them a little ring. So we're going to be watching closely to see who suits up, how Toppin's injury evolves, what could possibly come of that, and what kind of statement the Hawks can make on national TV. Of course, keep your eye on Trae Young's extension status. We're hearing conflicting reports, and there's no definitive answer right now, but I do believe it will get done eventually. And any potential front court additions like Thomas Bryant or the guy we've been talking about plenty of times in the past few videos, Al Horford. So once again, thank you guys for watching Hawks Latest. I'm Zach Langley. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more breakdowns, and comment below with your prediction for tonight's game. The Hawks are going to go 4-0 in Vegas. It's a real possibility, and maybe they will. It just depends on who kind of plays and who the Hawks want to, keep as healthy additions. But thank you guys for watching again. I'm Zach Langley, aka Langley ATL, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.